arbitrage, if you guys don't know what it is, it's also referred to as sure betting. I think there's a few other terms for it as well, but like
arbing, I think.
Like arbing, arbitrage, sure betting. There's a few other terms I've heard out there, and there's actually a lot of information about it. And the thing is that it's remarkably simple, right? Yeah. And when you make an arb bet, you're placing wagers to cover all outcomes of that particular event that you're wagering on.
Yeah.
That have odds that ensure a profit for you, the sports bettor. And people are like, what? How do you do that, right? And it's really simple. Different sports books use different algorithms, right, as you know. And when you use different algorithms, that exposes in a live menu different unique opportunities. And those different unique opportunities can sometimes create a profit for all outcomes. So a perfect example is if, let's use the Steelers-Ravens from yesterday. If you took the money line of each of those games live potentially in a very close, circumstance of the game, you might have one book paying 2.1 for the Ravens to win, and potentially one book paying 2.05 for the Steelers to win. So by betting $100 on each of those, on one side you would profit $10 for your 200, and on the other side you would profit $5 for your 200.
Yeah.
And you couldn't lose. There's no circumstance that would exist where you could lose. If that game ended in a tie, you'd get your $200 back and wouldn't have any profit. But you're exposed to no risk whatsoever in that example, right?
Right, yeah. And I think that one thing that people need to understand about arb betting is that it's much lower return on investment. I mean, more often than not, you see bigger players wagering huge amounts of money on it. So if you're starting off and you're trying to build your bankroll, arbing isn't going to be like a rocket ship or jet fuel to get you going, but it is a surefire way if you spot opportunities along the way, even with inplayLIVE, as we kind of point out sometimes, to bolster those units and just to add a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there's you like you said, you can look at every single game out there and probably find an arb bet, but there's also key games and key situations where it becomes more profitable.
Right.
And I think going back to things we've harped on in the past about having access to multiple books, having a big tool belt in that sense, having funded accounts is so important if you're going to look at something like arbing, because then you have the opportunity to make that decision on the spot and dive in on any chance that jumps at you, right?
Right.
Yeah.